Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we're covering Garchomp. Garchomp obviously being one of the best Pokemon to play in the game that is legal in most formats. It has been an absolutely incredible Pokemon from the first day that it was inputted in Generation 4. We have huge attack stat at base 130, a really big speed stat at base 102, and pretty good defenses at 95 defense and 85 special defense. We have 108 base HP, meaning that it can definitely live a couple of attacks. The one downside is that it is really weak to ice type attacks. So you can potentially run the ice type reducing berry, which I can't think of off the top of my head. So you might have to Google that one. And it's also weak to things like fairy types as well, which again, really common. So that's the single downsides really to Garchomp. Special attack is also pretty lackluster, but it is definitely a physical Pokemon. Now I've got 4 sets today, but before we get started, if you can scroll down, click that like button, and also subscribe if you haven't done so already, it would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. Okay, first set we got is a Choice Scarf Garchomp. Now base 102 speed is very good. It's faster than average base 100 speed Pokemon. If you go for the plus speed nature, it'll make sure you outspeed them. But if you go for that Choice Scarf, you can outspeed the vast majority of Pokemon that are present in the game, as long as they're not Choice Scarfed and faster than you. The ability is Rough Skin. Now, ability-wise, what we have Rough Skin, which the Pokemon makes contact, it loses an eighth of their max HP, and you've also got Sand Veil to increase your invasiveness in a Sandstorm. Now, Sand Veil is a less used ability. Unless you're running a specific Sandstorm team, I would always recommend going for the Rough Skin ability. It is a hidden ability, but you should be able to get hold of that without too much problem. Now, move-wise on this set, so we've got Dragon Claw, powerful Dragon-type attack boosted by Stab. You could potentially go for Outrage, but with Fairies being immune to Dragon-type attacks and the possibility of a Fairy type coming in, going for Outrage, you do get stuck into that move for 2 to 3 turns, so it can be something that can be a little bit concerning if they do switch into a Fairy type, because you're probably then going to go down into the next turn. So I prefer to use Dragon Claw, but you can go for Outrage if you're feeling a little bit more spicy, I suppose. Earthquake is a second attack, boosted by Stab, powerful ground type attack, hits a lot of different Pokemon, rock types, steel types, fire types, all for super effective damage. Next up we've got Stone Age. Now Stone Age is super effective against those ice type Pokemon. Now the ice type Pokemon, as I said, 4 times weak to, so you do really want to have some good coverage for them. And finally, Poison Jab is a powerful poison type attack and can hit fairy types for super effective damage, as well as going for things like grass types as well. You could go for Iron Head as an alternative because Garchomp does get access to that, I'm pretty sure. Now that I've said that, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Iron Head is an alternative as well. Obviously, steel type attacks are really good as well and hit those fairy types with super effective damage. EVs, there are 2 slight variances to this. You've got max attack and max speed with an adamant nature, so more attack, less special attack, or a jolly nature, so more speed, less special attack. If you're wanting to outspeed those base 100 potential Scarf Pokemons that have the plus speed nature, then you probably want to go for the plus speed, but that is less of an occurrence. So personally, I would go for the adamant nature for the more attack, to have as much attack as possible to really hit things. I mean, you're just shy of 400 attack there, which is absolutely gigantic and can hit a lot of different Pokemon for a lot of damage on that one. Now, the second Garchomp set I have got is kind of important for a reason, the attack and the speed. As I said, Garchomp's base 102 speed, whilst it's good, we can make it better. So, on here I've got Life Orb. You don't have to go Life Orb, you can go things like Leftovers, any assortment of berries, lots of different things are possible on here. I've kept Sand Veil as the ability just in case you're running this in a sand team, but as I said, 99 times out of 100 you'll probably want to go for a Rough Skin. It really limits the choices that a physical Pokemon has. So Life Orb is going to increase up our attack by 1.3 times. We've got 359 in our attack. That takes it to well over 400. I think it's about 460-ish, just a little bit higher than that the Life Orb will take us to. And if you get a Soul Stance up, that's like over 900. So absolutely gigantic attack stat possible here. If you don't have the Life Orb, obviously it takes you to about 720, which again is absolutely huge. Then we've got Scale Shot. Now, Scale Shot, it does lower your defense by 1, but it increases your speed by 1 as well, and it hits between 3 to 5 times. So 1, it's really good against Focus Sash Pokemon. 2, It allows you to increase up your speed by one stage, and if you've already got that Sword Stance up, you're probably going to be sweeping the majority of Pokemon. And 3, that downside of the lower defense, unless there are priority moves, you likely are not going to have too much of an issue. Just obviously be concerned of things like Ice Shard, because they are going to hit you really, really hard at that point. Then we've got Earthquake, powerful ground type attack boosted by Stab. Hits a lot of different Pokemon. And then I went for Body Slam as a last move, but you could again go for Stone Edge, or Iron Head, or Poison Jab, or even something like Dragon Claw if you wanted to. But those are plenty of options that you can run here. This is kind of an alternative to running Dragon Dance, because unfortunately Garchomp does not get hold of Dragon Dance. I mean, it might be fortunate that it doesn't get Dragon Dance, because if it did, it would be probably Anubis, because it is a really incredible Pokemon at that point. But I put Body Slam on this last one, just because you can get the paralysis in different Pokemon, so things that might be faster than you possibly before the Scale Shot, you might be able to get that paralysis off on them to lower their speed, and it can help the rest of your team out as well if you've lowered the speed on them. EV's gone for max attack and max speed with a jolly nature, so more speed, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. You could always go for the adamant nature here. It's up to you what you decide to go for. It's just based on personal preference. Moving on to the third Garchomp set, we have got a more supportive set. So Garchomp actually can learn Stealth Rocks, and this would probably catch your opponent off guard. But we've got a Rocky Helmet and a Rough Skin variant. I did not change the ability. So Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin variant, if you get hit by a physical move, that is taking a significant portion of their health away. And it would only take about four hits for it to take them down, I think. 4 to 5 hits. And the opponent's Pokemon would be down from those physical attacks. So this can work really nicely in combination. You just have to be aware that obviously you are going to be losing some of your health. If you want to run Leftovers as an alternative, you can, but I really like the combination of Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin together. Other moves. So we've got Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks allows you to start chipping away damage at different Pokemon whenever they switch, and it really limits the amount of switches that the opponent can do. So for example, when I have Stealth Rocks on my side of the field, I really have to consider whether it's appropriate for me to switch to a different Pokemon for me to be able to get them in with taking that damage. And obviously you have things like Defog and Rapid Spin that can happen, so do be aware of that, but Stealth Rocks hopefully should be relatively easy to set up. And combining it with that, we then have Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail is a really good combination with Stealth Rocks, because whilst it has minus priority, so you are going to get hit, so obviously be cautious of those Ice type and Fairy type attacks, it forces the Pokemon to switch out. It has, I think, base 60 damage. Yeah, base 60 damage, so it hit the Pokemon still pretty hard, because your attack stat is obviously still huge without the investment. And it will force the Pokemon to switch into another one, again getting that Stealth Rock damage to start racking up. And if that Pokemon has already hit you and taken a lot of damage that turn as well, that means that next time they come in, they'll just end up taking more Stealth Rock damage. So it can work as a really good, kind of more defensive, but destructive force. And then again, we've got Body Slam, allowing for that paralysis to happen. Sometimes paralysis can be necessary, especially when you have that minus priority for the Dragon Tail. If you can paralyze as many Pokemon as possible, and then they get fully paralyzed and you can Dragon Tail, obviously you're not taking any damage in that turn, so that could help. And finally, I've gone for Earthquake, powerful ground type attack boosted by Stab, just for your high damage move there as well. EV's gone for max HP, max defense with an impish nature, so more defense, less special attack, and 4 EVs in attack, just boosting that attack ever so slightly, meaning it's basically still at 300, which is still really huge. So yeah, the idea here, you're going to get hit, but hopefully you're going to do a lot of damage in the off-come as well. And finally, we're going for a Dynamax set. So on here, I've gone for Brick Break. Brick Break turns to Max Knuckle, increasing up your attack by 1 stage. Now, obviously, a +1 in your attack is going to be absolutely huge and do a lot of damage to different Pokemon. Earthquake turns to Max Quake, increasing up your special defense by 1 stage, and is also your stab strong attack. Iron Heads turns to Max Steel Spike, increasing up your defense by 1 stage, and also hits things like Fairy types. And then you have Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is a transfer-only move. If you can't go for Aerial Ace, I'd recommend going for something like Dragon Claw as an alternative. But Aerial Ace, transfer-only move, flying type attack, boosts your speed by 1 stage, meaning you're going to have a +1, hopefully in the end with your attack and your speed, possibly even +2 in your attack stat. Now, item-wise, I've gone for Red Card here. Red Card can force the opponent to switch out, so it hits you and then it forces it to switch out. You could always go for Leftovers, even Life Orb. You could go for citrus berry, any assortment of berries really. There's lots and lots of different options that you can actually go with Garchomp. Even any choice items like choice scarf or choice band could work nicely as well. Ability, probably want to go for Rough Skin again unless you're running that specific Sandstorm variant or you're running something like Stone Edge on your set to allow you to set up that Sandstorm. EV's gone for max attack and max speed with a jolly nature, so more speed, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. And yeah, so more speed, you could go for the more attack here if you wanted to, but that's up to you. Anyways, that is all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I will see you soon.